Hello, Mizzou fans. Darren Whitick with the Tiger Club of Kansas City. We're here, bribed Gabe DeArmond with the best burger in Kansas City again. So coming up, thanks for being up again, Gabe.
It always works.
We'll keep doing it every year. So, basketball team, you lose your best player 2 years in a row. This is pretty much what you said the basketball team would be this year. Get a shot at the NIT and then grow from there.
Yeah, I think everybody saw this coming when Jonte went down. You hoped 500, a little better, maybe getting the NIT. I think where we stand right now, that might be tough to see, but not impossible. So, this is last year kind of set people up to think, oh, we're back, and it was always going to be delayed a little bit.
You mentioned to the club today, though, the recruiting coming up. We're at a critical point for recruiting coming up to get back to that NCAA tournament almost every year.
Yeah, I got some 2020 kids in St. Louis, Caleb Love, Cameron Fletcher, got Josh Christopher, a top 10 kid out of California who's, cousin or just happens to be part of the Missouri program. So that's a big class for Conzo Martin. Next year will be big, that 2020 class. I think a year or two from now we'll really get a better idea for where things are going.
Going to football, good second half of the year again, nice bowl game. What do you think about the team coming out of last year and heading into next year?
I mean, they went from, oh my God, what's going to happen at quarterback to signing every quarterback. So that was huge, obviously. I think the clear goal next year is put yourself in that position for maybe a New Year's Six type bowl, right? Like a 9-10 win type season, and really show that big step. Like they've taken incremental steps each of the last 3 years, and now people want to see that next big one.
And the early signing period has become the signing period in football now. Mizzou's down to a couple spots. It looks like a very good class for Mizzou and our expectations for those signing classes. So what are your thoughts as we close out recruiting here?
Yeah, this is kind of typical to the optimistic side of what a Missouri class is. They're ranked about 30th in the country. A lot of guys that, a lot of 3-star guys. That's kind of where Missouri has to live. And it used to be the first Wednesday in February was my busiest day of the year. And now all of a sudden they're just going to tweet out that a couple kids signed, and that's the first Wednesday in February because it was all done.
So making inroads in St. Louis. We're not going to close the borders and get everybody, but doing a good job of getting those guys.
Definitely much improved in St. Louis this year. A lot of emphasis on Tennessee lately. I think they're going to go into Illinois, Chicago a little bit more, and maybe pull away a little bit from that. Florida, Georgia, Louisiana. I just don't think the payoff's really there.
Diamond sports we mentioned are very difficult in the SEC, but for the PowerMizzou forum, that softball forum looks like it's going to carry on forever and ever, right?
Yeah, I tell you, it's apparently very popular. But yeah, look, softball I know was picked 13th in the SEC, and I think that's a program that you got to wait a couple years and see where they're at. Baseball is, I've said since they joined the SEC, there's no tougher job at Missouri than baseball. I mean, the rest of this league, the resources and the commitment is just in a different world than what Missouri's at right now.
That's Gabe DeArmond. Check it out at PowerMizzou.com. Make sure you get over there and take a look at what they have. They cover Mizzou sports as well as anybody. Gabe, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for
Next week, Vahe Gregorian from the Kansas City Star will be our guest. After that, we'll have Barry Odom coming up, and then check out Tiger Club, the Kansas City Tiger Club online for information on our upcoming golf tournament this summer.